Hi guys, you are welcome to Aramat Vision channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how step by step on how to go about in crypto trading. So I'm going to take you step by step. In here, I'm very proud of what I'm doing for the past few years. I'm into crypto. So in that regard, I'll pass across all the knowledge I know, and at the end of this video, if you have been interested in cryptocurrency and you are finding it difficult on how to go about in this video, at the end of this video you'll be able to trade perfectly. Stay with me to the end of this video. Please, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell for my new video update like this. At any time if I upload a new video, that you'll get to see it. YouTube will get to notify you about my new video. So I'm going to show you how the platforms of this Binance is all about, how it look like and what you need to do in the times of trading. And at the end of this video, if you have a question, please just ask your question in the comment section below, and I will reply to every question. There's no question that is going to be skipped. Every question that is being asked, I'm going to reply to that question. So let's dive into it. So in today's video, we are going to talk about beginner guide on cryptocurrencies. So what is this? And we're going to look at this at the number of contents we are having. In our schedule, we're going to introduce introductions, the blockchain technology, exchange, spot trading, how to place a trade, simply trade strategies, the way you go about in simple strategies in placing your trade, and so that you can make money from the trading. There are some simple trading strategies that I've been applying for a while and it has been helpful. So I will bring you those updates to show you how to place those trades. So let's start. Introduction. What is cryptocurrency is all about? The cryptocurrency is a relatively new types of money that operate in a completely different way than the traditional currency we all use every day. The most basic differences is that it's exclusively a virtual currency, meaning there are no physical currency, coins or notes you can keep in your back pocket. I think when we are talking about cryptocurrency, these are virtual currency. These are currency that you cannot hold in your own hand in order to keep it in your own possession. That will be okay, this asset is with me particularly, and you want to use it in your own way and you want to keep it in your own possession. No, these are virtual currencies. They are online, they are being transacted online, not physical, exchanging between you and the next, or some other between the buyer and the seller. No, but these are being transacted online. That is what we say they are what virtual currencies. They are what virtual currency. So there is nothing like physical. Say you have the currency in your own possession to keep it in your own house when you bought it. No, they are not like that, but they are money that's being transacted. They are different from the normal fiat we have in our own country. So these are money that you cannot keep it in your own possession, but rather you can have an access to it digitally. So let's look at the next steps. Next step we're talking about, I'm going to be very brief. Highest to, I'll not take much of the time. It's going to be like just about 40 minutes or 1 hour. 1 hour is much. I'm going to be very brief as I can't. So if you have a question, please don't hesitate, ask your question in the comment section and I will reply to your question. Blockchain technology. So we say blockchain technology is mostly simply defined as a decentralized distributed ledgers that record the provenance of a digital asset. They are what decentralized exchange that records of what that have a provenance of a digital asset. They kept a record. So every asset has a root where it's coming from. It has a blockchain that is being attached to. There is not an asset that does not has a blockchain. So every asset has a blockchain that is being attached into. So in every trade, okay, in any piece of assets you're trying to get to, you have to understand that this asset, it has a root where it's coming from directly. So let's move to the next, which without wasting of time. Cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is secure by cryptocurrency by that is secure by cryptography, which make it nearly impossible to counterfeit or double spend. Many cryptocurrencies are decentralized network based on blockchain technology in distributed ledger efforts by a disparate network of computers. They are what a digital or virtual currency that is secure by a cryptography, which make it nearly impossible to quantify or double spend. There's a system of management or double spend. Okay, you have this, but you want to double spend. No, it cannot be. It cannot be in that manner. That's why I say many cryptocurrency are what decentralized network based on what blockchain, which you talk about. I try to just give a brief knowledge of how blockchain is, and every asset has a blockchain that it belongs to. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has its own blockchain. Cardano has its own blockchain. Matis has its own blockchains, which they are being built on. So they are being built on this disparate network of computers. They are being attached to somewhere. So they has a founder. So why the next thing? Let's see the features that being attached to this cryptocurrencies. So one of the features in cryptocurrency that you need to know is that is permissionless. Is permissionless does not mean it does not seek permission. It does not has a access to particulars. Okay, this thing must be done. This no, it's permissionless. Then secondly is censorship resistance, and the third one of the feature is that is what cheap and fast payment method, safe and secure fund. It's very cheap in terms of payment methods and very fast. It's very fast and it's very cheap. Then the next thing you need to also know that is that it's very safe and secure fund. You can save this because as long as this asset is in your own account, it is safe and secure because you alone, you are the owner of that account. You are the only one that can secure. You have the key access to that your particular account, which if you purchase a access and you hold the asset, you are the only one in charge of that asset. So not no no anyone can have an access to just penetrate into your asset unless you reveal the secret or the password of your own account to that person. And it's very fast in terms of payment, it's permissionless and censorship resistance. So as much as people try to fight it or government try to fight it, you'll discover that is high resistance and you cannot double print the way your fiat just can be printed. So let's move to the next stage. So we're going to talk about exchange, which we are going to go deeper to get to know what is this exchange is all about. So exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange is a business that allow user customers to trade cryptocurrency or digital currency for financial assets. So get to understand this. We say exchange, right? We're talking about exchange at the moment. We say exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange is a business that allow user customers to trade cryptocurrencies or digital currency for financial assets. So is in exchange is a place that allow users or a buyer or a seller to come in. It is a company that sat in the middle. They are just as a middleman and allow a buyer and a seller to come and transact a business within themselves in this particular asset, and which is digital currency for financial what asset. It's going to be an exchange of assets between a seller and a buyer in this particular. So in this way we are going to get to see the features of what exchange, and we are going to see the types of exchange we have. We are having two types of exchange, and which we're going to see it very fast. We're going to see it, and you're going to get to understand better what I'm trying to talk about exchange, because in that to see you will understand that there is a particular ways of okay which place is the best, and you're going to understand the differences in these two types of exchange we have. So in exchange is a cryptocurrency is a cryptocurrency exchange is a word business that allow users, customers to trade cryptocurrency or digital currency for financial asset, to make money from it. So the types of exchange we have two types of exchange. We have the CES exchange and we have the DES exchange. So what does that mean? CES exchange simply means centralized exchange. Why the DES exchange simply mean what? Decentralized exchange. Decentralized exchange. So we're going to see what these two, the differences between these two types of exchange. And as I said earlier, I'm not going to take much of it. At highest within 30 minutes I'm done with this class, and any questions just ask your question in the question session and I will reply to your question. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and give it a thumbs up, because I really appreciate that, so that we can build this channel together. So let's continue. Let's look at what is this centralized exchange is all about, and what is the decentralized exchange is all about. So let's continue. Centralized exchange is a centralized exchange are organization that coordinates cryptocurrency trading on a large scale using a similar business model to traditionally asset exchange like stock exchange. This is centralized exchange. Centralized exchange is talking about an organization that coordinates cryptocurrency trading. But these are the work they do. They coordinate these transactions of cryptocurrency. So they have a location. You can identify where they are. That is what it means. So this is centralized exchange are organizations that coordinate cryptocurrency trading on a large scale using a similar business model to traditional asset exchange like stock exchange. So they are just like a store of exchange. You can get to that particular place at any time to do your transactions. So they are the one that coordinates the way things are being done, and they coordinate the kinds of assets that are being listed in that kind of exchange. It's not every asset that just comes and be listed in that exchange easily. So we get to see the difference between this and centralized. So let's look at the features in these features of centralized exchange. So number one feature of centralized exchange is that they have centralized office. So they have a place to what to identify or to see them, to get to them. If you say, okay, well, how can I this is my money, and how, if I have an issue, how can I get to solve out this issue? So they have centralized office, a location that can be found. We can just point, say, okay, like one of the example of a centralized exchange is Binance, or we can talk about KuCoin, or we can talk about OtterFX. So they have a what office that you can find, you can locate them. Two, KYC is must. It's not an optional. KYC is must. What we're talking about is must is that is not is something that you say, okay, without it I can continue my trading or my cryptocurrency business. No, this KYC is more. May ask, what is KYC? KYC simply means know your customer. Know your customers is very, that verification is not an optional verification, but is must. Global restrictions is global restriction. There is global restriction in in centralized exchange. Global restriction is there. The fourth one is what? Control over access listing. Control over access listing. I talked about this earlier in when I was trying to explain exchange. Sorry, when I was trying to, when I was trying to explain exchange, other types of exchange. So there's a control over assets that being listed in centralized exchange. So it's not every kind of asset that just came up and being listed in centralized exchange. No, it must go through some vigorous research to be sure that this asset, because in centralized they are dealing with people capital, they are dealing with people capital, so they have to be very conscious of what is being listed in the market. So you will be surprised, you bought an asset, since the day you bought the asset has been depreciating, it has been going down, 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 up to date. So you are confused at a point. So now you have to understand, in centralized features they have what? Control over assets that are being listed in their platform. So control over access listing. So the next one is on no freedom and privacy. No freedom and privacy. That is why we said, if you look at number 2, we talk about KYC, which is what? Know your customer. No freedom and privacy. There is nothing like freedom and privacy in centralized exchange. So let's move to the another one. Customer support and protection is intact. This is the good portion that everybody will like to ask question. So, what about if I have an issue with my transaction? How can this be solved? That is why some people are very scared to engage in what? In anything that have to do with online business. Say, what about if I have an issue? That is how my money go. No, that is why you can see in centralized exchange, you say that customer support and protection is intact. So when you're having an issue, they are going to what? You're going to have a support. You're going to have a what? A constant what? Support by the customer service. They are there to what? To respond to your issue. So just the same the way your normal bank it is. When you have an issue, you try to reach out to the customer care and they solve out your issue. One of the differences is here that your bank is, you know the location, you know the location easily to get to. But why this one, the locations are not, their office are not rampant like that. But you can reach out to them still online and they will solve your issue. Let's move to the next one, which is decentralized exchange. Decentralized exchange. A decentralized exchange, or this is a what? Place where people can go to trade cryptocurrencies without an intermediary. Without an intermediary. This is what it means. There is no somebody as a middleman, but it's a place that people can easily go to and to place a transaction or to trade cryptocurrency with what? To trade cryptocurrency without an intermediary, without a middleman. This is it, just between a buyer and a seller transacting directly, the owner of the asset and the interested in buying the particular asset. So the person that is buying the asset is interacting with the person that is interesting, that is trying to sell, the seller and the buyer. So they come in between, but there is no a middle person to intervene in that matter. Whatsoever the price that the the seller offer you, and if you are okay with it, you accepted it in that place. So we are going to see the features of this word, decentralized exchange, because we talk about centralized exchange, which we say that it has an office, right? It has a location, which we just saw a few minutes to say centralized exchange are organizations that coordinate cryptocurrency trading on a what large scale. Why you can say in decentralized exchange, you can say that is an exchange or where people can go and trade cryptocurrency without an intermediary, without anybody in the middle. There's not a middleman in between the transaction. So that is what is meant by decentralized exchange. So what are these features? You can see we look at the feature of centralized. We talk about they have an office, and we talk about KYC is must, it's not optional, customer support, or that we did. So what are the features in decentralized exchange? Let's get to say that now. So decentralized exchange features now. One, no global restriction. There's nothing like global restriction because there's no office. There is no office, nowhere to found. Okay, where is this centralized? Where is this decentralized exchange is? Okay, it's also no. They do not have an office, so no global restriction. They don't have problem with global restrictions. Two, anyone can list an asset. Anyone can list an asset. Even you can list an asset in decentralized exchange. You can create your own asset and list it there, and it's going to what? It's going to sell as long as people can come across it, and definitely someone must buy. Someone will buy no matter how long it takes, but someone will come across your own project and he will buy. That is it. Anyone can lease an asset. That is two. Three, KYC not required. But in the other as centralized exchange, we saw that KYC is required. Know your customer verification is must. It's not an option, because in that particular place we saw there is no privacy. There is no privacy. Everybody is being secure. There is no privacy. Everything is being open to everybody. Nothing that is closed, they're trying to hide. No, it's open in centralized. But we can see in the case of decentralized, they say what? No KYC. So this verification is not needed at this particular place. So it's list customer support. Customer support. The customer support is very poor in decentralized exchange. If you're thinking that when you have an issue in transactions, you that may lead to the loss of your money completely, your capital. There's a possibility of losing the whole of that money. So that is why it's less customer support. There is no customer support. The next one we say what? No several office. No several office. It's very difficult to hear that okay, this is decentralized office. No several office. Then render freedom and privacy. So if you're thinking about your privacy, this is where to be in decentralized exchange. You can go to that place and do your transactions, which is very easy. So there is privacy in times of decentralized exchange. If you're looking for your privacy, this is where to be. So let's move next. I wish not to take much time here. So the next stage is what? Cryptocurrency slash fiat. So number one, we have Bitcoin on its own, which is the first asset being listed. Which if we come to the features of cryptocurrency, how the existence is talk about Bitcoin was the first asset in cryptocurrency field that being listed. Secondly, we'll look at altcoin. Altcoins are all the other new assets that come after Bitcoin. They are the ones we call what? Altcoins. Altcoins. Then we talk about stable coins. Stable coins are coins that does not change in price easily like that. Stable coin, we talk about like for example of stable coin is like USDT, and we have USDT. That's they are stable coin. So if in times you are trading Bitcoin or you're trading altcoin like we talk about like Cardano, which is Ether, Matis, which is Polygons, Ripple, SRP, and you can talk about dot, which is Polkadot, and so on of them. All are their what altcoin because they comes after Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was the originations of cryptocurrency. So after Bitcoins and before we begin to have altcoins, which you can say up to today, coins are being listed. Up to date coins are being keeping listed. So stable coins is like BUSDT and USDT and USD. So those are what stable coin that when you are trading Bitcoin other altcoins, you convert it back to stable coin. When you make profit or when you want to engage in transactions in the market, you have to convert your fiat. We talk about fiat currency. Fiat currency, which is your naira, your country naira, your country money. Like me, I'm from Nigeria, so my fiat here is naira. The person from US is only is dollars. Person from other country like any other country you are from, you know the kind of currency you are using in your own country. So you have to convert it to what? To stable coin first, then before engage in any transaction in cryptocurrency field. So I'm going to say that stablecoin is very important because when you make a profit in altcoins, you'll be wondering, how can I convert? How can I withdraw? You have to convert your money back to stablecoin before withdrawing, because if you have not converted the money to stablecoins, that automatically means that that money is not your own yet. The reason is that the reason is that because the price of all coins are what? Are not stable. They are moving up and down, up and down, up and down. So you have to convert your profit into a stable coin. That before we can confirm that yes, this is your money. Because as long as you have made a profit of $1,000, or let's say a $500 profit, then you have not yet converted. When price of that coin drop in value, that automatic cut down the profit you have made. So I talk about fears. Let's move to the next one. So spot trading. At this particular point, that is where I'm going to dive into trading account. I'm going to show you some little simple strategies that you need to know, that you need to you can invest, you can engage in, and to trade well. So number one, we talk about spot trading. Spot trading. Spot trading involves direct purchasing or selling financial instrument or asset such as cryptocurrencies, forex, stock, etc. A spot market is a financial market opened to public where assets are traded immediately. It's a place that you can transact immediately without any issue. You can transact immediately. So it's a place that's been opened that a buyer or a seller, for example, you can say this is how your spot market accounts look like. This is how it looks like. This is a feature which I'm going to explain to you how all this is all about. Step by step, everything that you need to know, I'm going to show you. I'm wasting much times in this particular place, and we're going to talk how to place a trade, which we are about diving in now, and types of orders you need to know. We have 4 types of order. We have market order, limit order, stop limit order, and OCO order. But in the course of this tutorial, in the course of this class, we are going to focus in market order and limit order, because this is one of the major tools that you need to know as a beginner in cryptocurrency. So let's come back to this particular and let's go back to our trading account. So I'm using Binance. Whatsoever be the trading account you wish and desire to use, it's okay, it's fine. But at the moment, I'm going to use Binance for my trading. So this is your spot trader, and this is where, at this by your left hand side, this is where you get to search your asset. Let's say, for example, you want to buy an asset which is like Cardano. Here, every kind of pairs of assets you're looking for, you can find it here by using the search. But let's say I'm looking for Cardano, which is ADA. So which is ADA, you can see the pair, which is what, ADA/USDT, and this is it, and what I'm looking for. You click on it and you give it a little bit time to load up. So we can see it has loaded up now. So what is next? At this particular point, you get to say, okay, this is an asset, and you do. So there's something we talk about technical analysis, which is very important for all traders. Before you engage in any trade, you have to do your technical analysis very well. Secondly, if you want to search any assets, again, you come back here. Let's talk about like ETH, which is Ethereum. You can see it here. If you are looking for Polkadot, which is dots, you can see it here. Any type of pairs of assets you want, you can find it here. So let's get started here using Bitcoin, which is BTC, like USDT. I click this. So now the next thing you also need to know in your home page of your spot account is that there are 2 kinds of books, order books here. We have a order books for buyers, and we have order books for seller. So you can see this particular red one here is an order books for buyers, sorry, for seller. This particular red one here is an order books for sellers. Then the next one, which is the one below this red one, you can see it is in green, which is the order book for buyers. So every price listed here is for what? For buyers. It's only buyers. This is a price, and we can see amount and the total. So this is a price of the asset. This particular person wants to buy at this also price and amount of this quantity of the asset you want to buy, which is this particular one here in the middle, and the last one is the amount of money it's willing to invest in that particular asset. So that is that for the other side. Then the next thing is to know is that how to fill your order. We talk about, we have, can say we have limit, which is limit order. I talk about here. I say in terms of order, we have in how to, we talk about how to place a trade, right? We're going to explain that better. So in types of orders, we talk about market order, limit order. You can see it here now. We have, this is your limit order, and this is your market order, and this is stop limit order. In stop limit order, you can see order, which, as for now, for a beginner, we're going to focus on these 2 types of orders. We have the limit order and the market order. Right. So in this particular place, the next thing you need to also know is that this is the percentage. Now, for example, I want to buy a BTC. This is limit order. So BTC, at the record of this video, BTC is sitting at $40,470. $40,470, and I want to buy at the range of 40,000. So, and I want to use 70% of my asset. I can come and fill the price. That is, I'm bargaining that I want to buy, but I'm not okay with this particular price. That is what you have to do technical analysis first. In every trade you want to take, you must do your technical analysis first. Is very important, so that you know where the market is going. Either, because if I buy at this up now, what will happen if the price go down? I'm going to lose some money. And so after my technical analysis, then that's where I know where to place my trade. So for example, I want to buy at $40,000 and I want to use 75% of my asset to buy. So what will happen if I click buy BTC at 40,000? So what happened automatic is that I has an open order. You can see this is open order, this is order history, and this is trade history. So my positions in the market has not yet been filled, but I have a order that I place, and when market drop to $40,000, market should pick me. My order should be filled. So at the moment, I'm not in a trade yet, but I'm in what? I'm in open order. I place an order because I'm bargaining. That is what I mean. That is the difference between limit and market. Limit is talking that you are trying to bargain the price. Okay, the seller is telling you that this is what I want to sell. I want to sell at the range of $40,400, and the buyer is saying no, I'm not buying at the rate of 40,500 or 400, but I want to buy at $40,000. So automatic, this means that when market drop in price of 40,400 to $40,000, it automatic what? Pick you. Your order will be filled. That is why you can see at the moment is at what? Open order. When this order is being filled, you are going to see it is going to change to position. It's going to be at a position, which now you are in a position, you're having a position in the market. You have a assets that you have bought already, and you are going to be trading now. So that is what that means. So let's cancel this order. So this is where to cancel your order. Cancel it. Like if you have a lot of orders, you can click all if you want to cancel it at the same time. So the next thing you need to know, okay, this is the amount of, here is for the number of amount of asset, the quantity of the asset you want to purchase, and here is your balance, and here is your sell order. If someone will ask, what about if I buy, how to sell? Okay, this is buy order and this is sell order. So in any of the way, this is how to manage it. You buy here, you sell. When you want to sell, it's still the same process you go through in terms of buying. So the next thing is what? Market order. So market order, this automatically means that you are telling you're saying that let them give you a best price of the market. At the best price of the market, you are willing to buy. So you are not bargaining that, okay, no, I want to buy at 40,400, I want to buy at 40,500, I want to buy at 40. No, you are not bargaining, but at the best price of the market at that moment, you are willing to buy. That is where you are buying. So that is where your order is going to be filled. That is what, either you're using 50% of your asset, or you're using 50% of your asset, or 100%, any amount. That does not matter, but that is how to know. So here is where you can say deposit. If you want to deposit money to your account, transfer, withdraw, and available balance of the asset, which is BTC, and this is available balance of your capital in your account. That is that for that. Not much. If you want to see your profile, and this is where to get to see your profile. So now let's talk about some simple strategies on how to go about in a trade. So now we can say the market is sitting at this particular place. Let's give it a wide screen. Sorry, just give it a little bit of time to load up. So now we can say the market move from this particular place to the upside. We can see a move from here to the upside, and we saw a retracement back to the downside, and there was a consolidation at this particular. So now you are about thinking of how to do your technical analysis. So in this, you have to know what you want to do. So talk about support and resistance. So we can see here is a support level. Market break, because here is a resistance level. At the moment here, we can see here is a support level, and this is 4 hours time frame, and you can do this in any time frame. And we can see market comes down, market goes up, and market comes down. Now we can see a breakout from this support level. So why do we say here support level? Is a strong level because you can see market came down to this level and it hit and go back to the upside, and there's a retracement back to the downside and move back a little bit. We saw a market come back to the downside and reject it and go back to the upside again. So there's a move back to the downside again, and now we can see this retracement to the upside. So what is next? Let me show you some strategies I use. So this is, you can see this sign here. Okay, this is the strategies, and this is our MACD, this is our RSI. So these are some strategies, or some technical analysis that you need to apply all these methods to get to find a better way to enter a trade. You can't just come and see a trade like this. Now at this particular place, the market is finding difficulty to break this resistance, because the reason I say here is a resistance, here is a resistance level. We can see, as well as in this particular place, as well as in this place here is a resistance. So market is finding it difficult to break this resistance level, and at this resistance level you can see that in our stochastics market move from, okay, let me explain something for you to get to understand. At the below here, this line here is 20%, and this line here above here is 80%. If market go up above this dot line, this white line you see, it automatically means that is above 80%, and which is at overbought region. Market have got to overbought, that a lot of buyers have already buy this asset. So we automatically know that when there is an overbought, market automatically come back to oversold again. So the downside is oversold and the upside is overbought. So you can see market come down to oversold region, and now you can see retracement to the upside. So let's explain. Let me explain something to you to see this kind of strategies, how this works. If you buy an asset, let's say market came down to this particular level, and which you see at this down part here, you can see in your strategies, you can see it is at low, at overbought sold region. So if you look at your RSI, you can see it is at also what below is low. Your RSI is low, it's also low, and if you look at your MACD as well. So now I'll just use this particular one to explain it to get it better. So we're at this particular place. If you buy here and there is a retracement to the upside here, if you buy down here, when you can see when the market is at oversold region, automatically, when market gets to oversold region, definitely the thing will go back to the upside. So at this particular point of oversold region, you purchase an asset here, and the asset move back to overbought region. From oversold region you bought, then it moved from here to up again, and which it enter over what bought region. So you can see you're going to be at a profit. You bought, for example, at let's say $39,000, and now market go up to what 42, about $3,000 different, about $3,000 different. So you're going to make a profit from, depends the amount of money you use to invest in that asset. So you're going to make a profit. So at this particular place you sell here and you wait for the retracement. That is one thing you need to do in spot trading. You wait for a retracement. You can also but as a new beginner, focus on how to do this. Watch these strategies and do this in short time frame. Let's talk about like 1 hour, but this is 4 hours time frame. So market will trace back to the downside, because you are very sensitive. Market have entered over what, but a lot of buyers have bought this asset, so definitely people will be selling now. Excuse me. People will be selling, and there's going to what, market will drop automatically. When people begin to sell, market will drop. And if you can see at this particular place of rejection is what, resistance. When we draw a horizontal line here, you can see that it's sitting at a resistance level. Here is a resistance. Here is a resistance at the market, resistance at the market. Here automatic is resistance. If you want to learn resistance and support, you can watch that in my new video. In another video you can see it there. So you can see that in my next video. So at this particular place, no matter what happened, now you understand. You can see this market is sitting at what, over bought region. So it's going to be difficult for it to go up now. And if you look at it, that at a resistance here, resistance at this particular place, resistance at this particular. So the next thing you're going to see, market is going to come back to the support level. So you have to sell and take your profit and wait. When you see this retracement back to the downside, when market comes back to over what, over sold region, then you can rebuy. So if you rebuy at this particular place and market come back to go back to over what, bought region again, you discover you make profit. So in this simple strategy, if you have done it like 5 to 10 times in a day, or let's say in a week, you discover that you make money. Let's say for example you use like $100, you take a position at a particular price here, and it will rise to up, like maybe about $30 profit, or let's say $20 profit, and you take a profit and you wait the market come back to the downside, you still take position. The same thing applicable in all time frame. So let's see this in 1 hour. So see this in 1 hour. You can see market move from here to this particular place, and it's finding it difficult. You can see that resistance I'm talking about. You can see it here, resistance as well here, and this particular place is finding it difficult as well. So you can see it, this candle, this last 1 hour market get to this price, it rejected at this particular place. So automatically we are going to see a retracement back to the downside to this particular support level. Market is going to come back to this level. So at this level, you can see in your strategies, you can see this market consolidates little bit, consolidate, came back to over what, sold region. So market will now move back to this level of what, of overbought region. At this particular place, no matter what is going to happen here, you have to know that market is going to come back to the downside. It's going to come back to over what, sold region. So if you buy below here and you take a profit here, you come back and wait for it down here. After doing your technical analysis, when you get to do your technical analysis to understand the trend of where the direction of the market, and you come and place your next, by the same thing applicable to 15 minutes, 1 day time frame, 1 week time frame. If you want to go in long time trade, so now you can see in 15 minutes, you can still see the same thing is at over what, but it's at around 80%. So market get a little bit up. We can see this consolidation is a confirm to us that market is going to come down any moment from now. Any moment you're going to see this fall begins in the market, so which you need to This is how you go about simple strategies on how to place your trade. And because when you take a position here, little bit up to the upside, and you take your profit, you come back and wait for it. Before you know it, at the end of the month, you have made a good profit, a good profit, a good amount of money. So this is how you go about these strategies. So it's going to be a very help for you as a beginner. So now I talk about earlier of this pay and book and what support level. Sorry, this is sell book order and this is buy book order, and I think those are the major strategies that for beginner I just need to show you. But we're going to go deeper in my next video of advanced. We're going to be talking about some strategies that you need to do. So this is how you do to place your trade. You can say that in 1 day time frame as also well. So we're going to show you how to use some tools here to it helps you in terms of your analysis. If you want to get involved in analysis, so you can see this is 1 day time frame. What is the market is going to do at the moment? So it's very important. So thanks for staying with me to the end of this video. Please comment below, ask your question at the comment section. Whatsoever be the question, we're going to reply to your question. If you are confused at any point, just don't hesitate but ask your question. We are going to attend to you. Then please help me share and like also, and also like. Let's join hands together to grow this channel together. Thank you for your time and see you in my next video.